Hello and welcome. So first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for being on right now. And I really do want to welcome you because what I'm going to be doing is showing you something which is really changing a lot of lives around the world. And I suppose you might be saying, well, who am I? So I'll just introduce myself. My name is Jayne and I'm actually a naturopath, and I've been a naturopath for over 2 decades. And for someone like me, I needed to do a lot of changing of thought because I thought that reverse osmosis water was really the best water. And if anyone that's listening right now, if you know anything about water, a lot of people would, agree with me that reverse osmosis is probably the better of the option than say tap water and bottled water. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be introducing something pretty awesome, and it's called Kangen water. And first of all, what I'm going to be doing is going through some slides for you. So it's like a visual and you can actually have a look at it as we go. So let me just start there. So if everyone could take their camera off, that would be great. Okay, wonderful. Alrighty. So first of all, I just want to talk about how much your body has in regards to water, and how you flush your body and clean your body will determine how it's going to perform and also how you are going to age. So we are 70% water, and it makes sense that we actually drink the best quality of water that you can actually drink. So it's like very similar, say if you're washing your car, you would wash it with clean, fresh water. You wouldn't wash it with, say, coffee or tea, because you're not going to be able to get your car clean. And this is exactly the same as your body. So your body needs clean, filtered water. So I am just going to change the next slide. And of course, what do we have in regards to, I suppose, the water that we have? And a lot of people think that tap water is great, but as you know, in tap water, we have a lot of chemicals and we have a lot of contaminants, which are really not good for our bodies. So when we're drinking tap water, we have a lot of things found in tap water. In fact, today I was listening to a whole batch of water in bottles that had a lot of arsenic in it. So you might want to look that up. There's quite a lot of information out there in regards to tap water and also bottled water. So in tap water, you're looking at lots of different contaminants, and the major contaminant is the chlorine. And the chlorine is placed in the water specifically to kill bacteria. And that's a good thing. Although the issue is that when we're drinking chlorine for ourselves, it will also kill the good bacteria that we have, okay, in our stomach. So we already know that chlorine, when you drink chlorinated water, it's a 93% higher chance for us to have cancer. We all have cancer within our bodies. The thing is that the cancer needs to be triggered by something. And we know that chlorinated water can actually do that. And this is coming out of the tap. So when you're looking at acidity and alkalinity, when I first learned about this, all I could think about was, wow, acid batteries. That's all I could really think about, was just the acid in battery. I didn't quite understand what acidity was within the body, nor the alkalinity. So when we're looking at, say, children, they are alkaline. So when we're born, then we're alkaline. And that's why a lot of children are very, they've got a lot of energy, is because their bodies are alkaline. So when you're looking at acidity, that's a lot of sickness. So with people with diagnosed diseases, especially with cancer, it's not a 95% chance or a 98% chance. It's a 100% chance that they are acidic within their body. And the way that we measure that is through pH drops, and we can actually do that, or litmus paper, which you can test, or your saliva, and we can also test blood. So when you're acidic, that's where the sickness is, and when you're alkaline, that's where health is. So what actually happened is I'm going to be talking about miracle water, and it's referred to also as holy water. And the thing is I'm going to take you to Japan just for a moment. So in Japan, back 45 years ago, there was a lot of acid rain coming in from China and also Japan. Now, the issue is with that is that actually we know, as you saw the chart before, that acidity can make you very, very sick. So when you're drinking and eating acid, then what's happening is your body is going to not get the right nutrients or the vitamins, and actions within the cells actually don't do very well, because the blood will always want to stay at 7.34, approximately, pretty much to the decimal point. So when there's a variation of that, that's when disease is. And this is actually how it's tested. Now, the Japanese, the way that it works over there is that in Japan, you pay the doctors when you're well, and when you're sick, you don't pay the doctors. How good is that? And what do? I'm in Australia, and what do we do in Australia? We basically pay the doctors when we're sick. And the issue with that is that it can be very expensive. So there isn't such a thing as preventative medicine here in Australia. So with Japan, so what happened was people started to get sick. Why? Because they were drinking acid water. So of course the Japanese, with scientists and also medical doctors, they went to see how they could change the water from an acidic point of view back to alkaline. And that was all they were looking at that particular point. Now, they had heard that there were certain springs around the world that had this so-called miracle water. Some people call it holy water. So what they did was they went and they started testing all of this water. And in Lourdes, even today, you can actually Google that and look that up. There's a place in Lourdes, and what happens is there is water coming through the rock, and people are drinking this water and they're feeling really good. So a lot of their inflammation goes, a lot of their disease goes, there's a whole list of things that this water has actually helped people. So what the Japanese did is they took the water and they started testing the water to see, why is this so special? Because we already know that it's alkaline, we know that, but what else? What other things are in this water that are helping healing so many people? And of course, we have springs like this all around the world. We have one here in Australia, there's one in Fiji, there's one in Turkey, and a lot of the locals actually know about it. In the Hunza Valley, they also have this particular water as well. So I'm going to introduce Kangen water. And this is probably the most talked about water. And why is it really, really important to drink? Is because there are 3 denominating factors which are different to tap water and also bottled water. And the differences is that it's antioxidizing, and I'm going to be talking about that in a moment, because when I first discovered that word, I had no idea what that actually meant, but I'm going to explain that. It has the alkaline, and we've talked a little bit about alkalinity, and it also has the microclusters, and I'm also going to talk about that. So they're the 3 qualities that they found in this particular water, which was very, very different. It was causing all of these miracles happen when people drank and bathed in this particular water. So it has been an amazing breakthrough technology, and this originated all the way back in the 70s. And as I said, there were scientists, they were engineers, there were doctors, and what they wanted to do was they wanted to mimic this water. They wanted to find a way to actually find out how they actually could make this particular water. So our company is called Enagic, and you can actually look that up. It's called enagic.com, and you can have a look at everything on the website if you like. So back in the 70s is when they first started. And of course, it's a top industry leader. So these machines, which I'm going to be showing you really soon, it is actually the fastest growing household appliance, so to speak, on this planet right now. It's been endorsed by the Japanese Association of Preventative Medicine, by thousands of doctors, not just like a couple. This is like thousands of doctors that have actually endorsed this. And also many, many awards. And they are very, very prestigious awards because there's no other, machine that can produce this water on the market that can do what this does. And that's really, really important. So it's the highest, most prestigious certificate that you can get in regards to the water filtration. So this is what it is. This is what it looks like. There are many on the market at the moment. We have two which are coming into Australia, and I will show you very shortly. This is the K8. So this is like the Mercedes of the machines. And we also have a JR2, which is a junior version, and I'll explain a little bit about that soon. So what can this actually do? Well, the thing is that it can produce 7 different types of water. Now, 3 of those are actually waters that we consume. The others are made up of things that we can use in our household and on our skin. And I'll be going through that in just a moment. So not only does it produce water for us to drink, it also does, beauty water, strong acidic for cleaning. There's a whole list of an array of things that that can actually do for us. So do you remember how I said to you, what does oxidizing mean? Well, the thing is that we will oxidize our body, and I've got photos to actually show you how that actually works. But if you cut open an apple and you find after maybe an hour or two, you'll find it'll go brown. That means that it's oxidizing. Okay, so it's aging, and that's very similar to our skin. We age because we oxidize. To slow that whole process up, we need to have as many antioxidants in our diet as possible, eating and drinking. And what happens is when we do have these antioxidants, it will actually help with the free radicals within the body. Now, the free radicals are the things that make us age, and they're damaging to us when we eat and drink them. And stress within our bodies can also cause free radicals. When we stress out too much in our mind, or we worry too much, or we have anxiety or depression, anything like that will actually create a lot of hormones gushing through your body, and they are also free radicals. So what they do, all of these antioxidants, is they help with the healthy cell. So this is the cut open of the apple. You can see that it goes brown. And this is exactly what happens to us when we age. So remember how I said to you, when you flush out your body with the highest quality water that you can actually find, then what will happen, it will determine how our body performs and how we age. So you'll probably notice that some people just never seem to age. And there's other people that age very, very quickly. And you can have a look at them and you can actually tell by how they're living their life. So we know that alcohol, we know that smoking, we know that having a lot of junk food, that will age us very, very quickly. So when we have oxidative stress, we have aging, quicker aging, and we also have a lot of anti-inflammatory. So the inflammatory responses is pain. So when you feel like you're in pain in any part of your body, you're inflammatory, you're aging, you have free radicals, and it's not good. But we do have a solution. So of course, you're not aging, you're dehydrating, which means that you're not drinking enough water within the body. But it's not just any water. It's not just tap water. It's not bottled water. It's the water that we're talking about here. These two guys are exactly the same age. So you can actually see, and you can guess, I can ask you, which one has been drinking Kangen water for the past 45 years? Yeah, the guy on the left. The guy on the right has just started from America. So you can actually see quite vividly there that, yeah, it's there is a huge difference. So when we're talking about oxidation, right, how do we test that? That's probably a really good question. Like, how do we know that when we drink this cup of water, how do we know that this cup of water actually has around 20 cups of green tea or 10 cups of berry? How do we know that? How can we prove that whole case. How can we do that? How we do that, right? It doesn't even have to be in laboratory. You can actually buy an ORP meter, oxidative reduction potential meter. And what it does, it actually, there's a probe, and I've got a photo on it in a moment, that goes in the water, and it will test exactly the negative and the positive. So when any liquid is positive, it's oxidative. It is acid. So if you want to age really quickly, drink as many sodas as you can. But 1 cup of soda, you're going to have at least 32 cups of this to counteract the acidity that it gives you. So you can see anything positive, which is a positive result. That's your tap water, your bottled water, all of that is positive. That's aging. And then when you're looking at the negative, when you see that on the ORP meter, that's great. They're antioxidants. So you probably have a look at cod liver oil. You could probably drink a whole liter of cod liver oil. You'll be slipping all over the place. It won't be very good for your tummy, but that's probably going to give you a lot of antioxidants for yourself, for your body. But again, the problem is, who is going to drink a whole liter of cod liver oil? They used to do that like a long time ago. My grandmother used to talk to me about it, that she would be given like a tablespoon every day of cod liver oil. They were onto something, but it tasted so awful that my grandmother, she was traumatized by the whole thing. But you can go ahead and do that if you really want. But I would prefer to actually drink 1 cup of water. So you can actually see this is a JR2, which is a junior version. It will produce negative 400. So it's 400 times more than, say, vitamin C. So it's extraordinary, the capabilities of this particular water. Again, this is all clinically tested, and you can test this in your home. So this is how we test it. You can see the probe there. This is the K8. It is negative 849 at the moment, and that's from the probe. And that's going actually in the water. So you can see the level of antioxidants. And remember how I talked about how important the antioxidants were. So here are the foods which are really high in antioxidants. So you're looking at broccoli, you're looking at a lot of the fresh foods, the berries are really good, artichokes there. These are all really good foods for antioxidants, although they will not give you this same amount as if you were going to be drinking the water. I'm not saying that you don't need to drink, eat this food and you just need to drink the water. There's still nutrients within all of those foods that you need for your body and your cells to be healthy. So choices to get antioxidants. So you've got a cup, as I said, you've got a whole cup, you've got quite a few glasses of green tea. That's probably like 2 liters of green tea, a whole kilo of blueberries, which is a lot, and a lot of broccoli. And all you need to do is really just drink this water. So we already know that wherever, because I talked about this just before, so wherever we are acid, that's where everything grows. Bacteria grows, cancers grow, everything, viruses grow, everything grows in an acid environment. But when you're alkaline, then what happens is nothing is going to grow. Your body will need certain acidity levels to digest food. So your pancreatic enzymes come in, then you have your liver bile that comes in once food is there, and the body knows that the food is in. And then of course the hydrochloric acid is produced in the lining of the stomach, and that's around 2.5 to 4 pH. We need the acidity in that particular area so that it can emulsify the food and digest the food properly. But we don't need the 2.5 pH all the time for our bodies to make it 24/7. It's only when we are eating. The blood, however, will always try and maintain alkalinity at 7.34. Now, once you drop below that, you're looking at a disease state. And of course, Dr. Otto Warburg back in 1931 won the highest medical Nobel Prize for this exact experiment. So we found the cancer cells are anaerobic, They do not breathe oxygen. They cannot survive in the presence of high level of oxygen as found in alkaline state. So we've known about that for quite some time. A lot of people say, how big is the actual machine? It's sort of like as big as a toaster, and it fits perfectly on your tap. So you just need to unscrew your tap and then you pop it on. So the Healing Water book is not that big. There's many doctors that have written many books about this particular water. So there's many. I've got quite a few books on my desk here with all the books from medical doctors. So again, documentation really beats conversation. If you have documentation to say that this actually works by copious amounts of books, and I can really show you here, I'll show you. This one here is, I won't pronounce his name, but it's Dr. B. He did a 3,000 person study in a political war camp with water. We also have Dr. Peggy Parker, who's written numerous books on water protocols with this particular water. And it lists everything from kitchen to healing ability within your body. Pretty awesome. And also, this is the book that you see. That's the exact book that I took the photo of. It's not that big. Like, this is my hand, so you can see the size of the actual machine. It fits beautifully next to your tap. And of course, Killing Cancer, which is Dr. Bob Wright. He's one of the top surgeons in America. He has written not one, but like 2 chapters on cancer diet in regards to alkalinity and how important it is to have oxygen-rich, hydrogen alkaline water. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Produced from your tap water, mind you, through the electrical socket, and it will produce all of these different types of water. So again, documentation really is more than, you know, me talking. There's a lot of documentation. In fact, there's over 1,000 studies on PubMed, clinical studies and trials on hydrogen ionized water. So what also makes this water very, very good is that the water, the way that we absorb it, is far greater than tap water and bottled water. And it's called microclusters. It has low surface tension. So it's like if I was throwing a basketball through a wire fence. I wouldn't get it through the fence. But if you can just imagine, the basketball would not throw, I couldn't get it through the fence. It's just not going to happen. It's too big. That's what happens with tap water and bottled water. The molecular structure is too big and it can't get into the cells correctly. You can have a certain amount of percentage, and I know it's around 15%. But if this here was tap water, and this is a full cup, I would only be absorbing a very, very short amount. And this is why when you get gastro illnesses, the medical profession will say have electrolytes. Why is that? Is so that you can have potassium and sodium, so you can actually do the exchange with water to help the water get into the cell, because it doesn't do that naturally in a big way. And when you're dehydrated from an illness, you need water, which you're going to absorb immediately. It will hit your skin within 10 minutes. It will hit your brain within 30 to 40 seconds by drinking the Kangen water. So the Kangen water is like when I have a whole handful of marbles and I'm throwing it through the fence, all of the marbles, I can guarantee you, because I'm a really good shot, the whole lot are going to go straight through that wire fence. So that's exactly what happens with your body. So again, within 10 to 40 seconds is like in your brain, which is amazing. And also it goes in your body and your skin within 10 minutes. So you have massive hydration. So this is also the reasons why when you drink the water, it feels so good in your body, because you don't have that gluggy, yucky, sick feeling when you're drinking tap water and bottled water. And believe me, that's how I felt when I had to drink that water before this particular water, even on reverse osmosis water. So the antioxidant, and you know probably a little bit about this now because I've talked about it already in the previous slides, but the antioxidants will stop the free radicals from spinning out of control and doing their damage within your body. So the more antioxidants you have in your body, the healthier you're going to be. So if I was to drink this whole cup here, immediately it would be going through all of my cells and helping me with the free radical damage that's happening within my body. And again, this is what it looks like. Microclusters, they get in, right? Easily absorbed. The regular clusters from tap water and bottled water, it's too difficult, it's too big, can't get in. Remember the marbles and the basketball. It's a great analogy. So when we actually have a look at this percentage of adults that suffer dehydration, there is a lot of dehydration, Apart from Germany, it's like 50%. Still dehydrated. So is your body acid? Well, it could be. I mean, if you're in pain, if you don't feel good, if you've got inflammation, if you've been diagnosed with something, you're probably acid, right? So what is going to be the best bet for you to do? Well, you can flood your body with juices, lots of vegetable juices to get high antioxidants, lots of fruits. You can do that. And also you can drink the Kangen water. And it's so smooth. It's so smooth. So this is, again, I just wanted to show you a little bit of the pH chart here. It's very interesting. So the Kangen water produce 9.5, and that's really good for you to drink. When you first start drinking it, it really does need to be like a lower pH because of the hydrogen and also the microclusters that actually start clearing out your cells. So it takes around 14 days for your body to flush through. And so you start with the 8.5, you go to 9, and then you go to 9.5. Now, if you went directly to 9.5, you would probably get like detoxification symptoms, all right? So you may feel a bit nauseous or a bit headachy. That's sometimes what happens when you detoxify, but we want you to go really smooth with the detoxification. So your best bet is to start with your 8.5, move to 9, and that could be after a couple of days or maybe a week, and then you go to the 9.5, okay? So when you're looking at chronic disease development, it's gonna happen before the 7.3, 7.4. It's gonna happen just before then. Your cancer cells start switching on and it becomes 5.8. So it's always best to drink around 2 to 3 liters of this water like every day, plus all your vegetables and you know, that's where you're going to get your nutrients and your fruits, nuts and seeds. So when we're looking and comparing with, you know, the acidity, the food that we actually have, it really creates a bad environment, and you're going to be opened up to more of the issues that are going to be, you know, around. So lots of viruses, lots of bacteria. You're putting yourself in harm's way if your body is acidic and you're eating and drinking acid. And so there's many disease states that you can actually have a look, or signs and symptoms. And, you know, acid reflux, arthritis, allergies, there's a whole list. Whereas with Kangen water, the major thing that I hear is increased energy. Why? Because your body becomes alkaline. Your blood is not leaching lots of nutrients from your body and your systems and your organs, because your body is filled with antioxidants. So you're looking at massive increase of energy. And this is what people say. A lot of people say they feel better. They have a positive mood. They stabilize blood sugar, weight loss, better digestion, lower cholesterol. There's many. And even in my case, that's exactly what's happened to me. So my blood pressure has decreased, which is great. My cholesterol level is normal, and my energy is through the roof. And that's on my own testimonial. I don't have the inflammation or the pain in my feet that I used to before I started drinking the water. And there's many, many people that I get lots and lots of testimonials from. So of course, when you're looking at bottled water, and I just want to bring this to your attention, is that when you're buying it in a bottle, they add chemicals to the water to bring it up to the 9.5. And there's many experiments that I can actually show you to prove to you that this is fake water. And what happens is we're marketed to all of these products because we sort of believe that to drink alkaline water is good, but it's the quality of the alkaline water. And that's the difference. We cannot absorb a lot of these added extras that they put in just so they can market to us and make us believe that this is actually going to help. There's no microclusters. So hydration, it's still going to be around 15%. Restore what? I don't know. And balance, I don't know what balance that is. Maybe water, I'm not exactly sure. So the Kangen water does many, many things, and I'm not going to go through all of that right now because there's a whole list on it. So the 11.5 pH is what I use a lot because I juice a lot, and this is what I do. So I want to make sure that all of my vegetables and my fruit and things that I'm eating are basically going to be clean of the chemicals. Okay, so you can also use you can soak your fruit and vegetables as you do. You can actually spray and wipe surfaces. You can make it as a makeup, you know, remover, puffy eyes. You can spray it on your skin. Insect repellent is amazing. I tried that the other day, sprayed, and the whole thing was gone, like there was no itch, which is amazing. A friend of mine had sea lice, and I sprayed that on his leg, and boom, immediately there was no itch, which was amazing. So of course, there's many different things that you can use this water from. So all you need to do is like press a button on the machine and it actually produces this type of water. So the 6 pH is what we call beauty water, and that's really good. I have it like in a little container and I spray it every morning on my face. After my shower, it's something that I just do, and it acts like a toner. So I will never have to buy any other toners. And I don't know about you, but toners are like $20, $30 and they're chemicals anyway, and our skin is going to absorb all those chemicals. So the more natural, the better it's going to be. So of course, with all of this 6, you can do lots of things with it. Facial blemishes, you can boil eggs. If you boil eggs, the shell comes off a lot softer. There's so much I can talk about in regards to what the 6 pH will do. So the beauty water is great because you're looking at, you know, reduce the eyes, the you know, dark circles. You just spray it on your body. It's really great. Pimples are really great. Many people have come to me and said that, you know, their skin feels so much better. Plus they're drinking the water, so they're very hydrated. Another one here, you've got used as like a disinfectant. Again, you can just make this water. It's a 2.5 and the 11.5, which I use for disinfectant and emulsifying. So they're your two that really I use for cleaning. You can clean your toilets with it. There's many different ways. In a moment, I've got a slide on exactly what it looks like, how I package it up, how I store these bottles, which are here, which is on the left. So that's how I store it. I've got these spray bottles and I just fill them up, and that's what I do. I've saved hundreds of dollars on cleaning stuff, like literally probably over $1,000 on cleaning. I would at least spend at least $100 a month on different types of sprays. So with this, you can make your own 2.5 to use all your cleaning. You can do floors, windows, bathrooms. You can clean your clothes with this as well. You can add a little bit of the 6 pH to make it as a softener. If you want, you can just add a couple of like tea tree or eucalyptus with your washing. It's pretty remarkable. On the right-hand side, that's in my kitchen, and I soak all my vegetables. And if I soaked those strawberries in normal tap water, the water would be clear, predominantly. Okay, so there's a lot of chemicals which come off of all the food, and I've actually done it even on organic food, which is amazing because they say it's organic, and then I soak it and then I find that all the chemicals come off in the water, which is pretty yucky. So this doctor here I have utmost respect for, and I'm looking for the book. That's why I had to turn away. I've got this particular book. He is a remarkable gentleman. He has actually saved probably a couple of 100,000 people because he was one of the, I suppose, he was a pioneer in colonoscopies. So I don't know whether you know about colonoscopies, but here in Australia, you'll get like a little white paper bag when you turn 50, and they'll ask you to do, it's a free colonoscopy. And this is how they see whether you have bowel cancer, which is one of the top cancers in the world, right? So this man here, he asks every single patient to drink at least 2 to 3 liters of this water before he treats them. It's pretty extraordinary. He's actually done a lot of photos I'm going to show you very shortly on before and after of what the bowel actually looks like. So he actually states on page 82, right, he's got Kangen water is the restructured ionized water products by the Kangen water purifying system built in Japan. I believe this water can be invaluable aid in helping you to cleanse and revitalize your cells. Why does he know that? Is because what happens is to do the colonoscopies, they put a tube all the way through you and they take photos of what your bowel actually looks like. It's very important to have a clean bowel. Why? Because your immune system is made in the lining of the stomach and there's a lot of toxins which are evacuated, should be once or twice a day. So when we're looking at this, we're looking at before and after 3 months. So he actually takes photos of the bowel, which is incredible, the before and after. There's many. So predominantly all of these people that he saw had cancer. So different types of cancer, but predominantly bowel. So this is before and after. This is gout and chronic constipation. How do you get gout? How do you get chronic constipation? They sort of go hand in hand. Gout is an inflammatory disease due to acid and dietary. It is purely dietary. It's like diabetes type 2. It is dietary. There's no hereditary marker in diabetes type 2. It is what your lifestyle, right? So the thing is that it's all acid, and chronic constipation generally is not enough fiber, fruit, vegetables, antioxidants, and liquid, clean, fresh liquid. I'm not talking about alcohol, coffee, or tea. Yeah. So again, before and after shots, I mean, this is pretty graphic. So now moving on. Oh, by the way, so this is Dr. Shinya, and you can go on and you can purchase his books. I've got every single book. I have amazing respect for this man. He's absolutely remarkable with his writing and how he has helped so many people. And he's been drinking the Kangen water for, 35, 40 years himself. So that's pretty amazing. He's Japanese. So look at this as 2.5 pH. So this is before and after. Now, I'm not a medical doctor and I'm not making any claims. I'm just showing you what's possible and what I've seen from my own eyes from people that I've actually noticed all of this healing in. So psoriasis in my clinic and eczema were extremely difficult to actually move, and acne, very, very difficult. But I found just through my own experience is if you spray the 2.5, clean with the 11.5, spray the 6 pH and drink the water, it's pretty miraculous how all of these things will, go. So this is psoriasis, very, very hard psoriasis is to get rid of. It's generally attached to emotions or trauma. Again, it's hard to know what actually caused it. It's not itchy like eczema, but it's very debilitating because it's really, it's what people see, on your skin. And sometimes you can get it on your face, which is pretty awful. Again, you can see this 2.5, it's plus 8.5. There's a lot of things which also healing, which is great. The 2.5 is hospital grade disinfectant. MRSA is very, very hard to get rid of. It's methicillin resistant Staphylococcus aureus, which is extremely hard to get rid of. It's actually in a lot of hospitals. Actually, it just sort of stays on shelves. It's extremely difficult to get rid of. You'd have to bulldoze the whole hospital to get rid of it. Very hard. So when you pick it up, it's sometimes very hard to medicate. So again, this is eczema before and after a couple of weeks spraying. So of course, Kangen, yeah, they call it miracle water. There's many people that drink it A lot of stars drink it. A lot of famous people drink it. A lot of sports people drink it. Bill Gates loves it. So these are actually the machines. So in America, for those that are listening from America, there's a lot more for you in regards to what you can buy. And you can find that on my website below this YouTube channel. You can click onto that and learn a little bit more about your country. We're in about 38 countries, so each country is different to what you can actually purchase. So what I have here in Australia is we have the K8, which is the middle one there. We have the Anespa, which is a shower unit, which I'll explain in a moment. We also have a junior version in JR2. And we also have the Yukon, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. So we can get the K8, which is the Mercedes, I suppose, version. It's the latest update. And the reason why it's so good is because it has the 8 titanium plates. So how they found that actually makes really good hydrogen is that back when they tested it with the caves where the water was coming through, they found there was some sort of electrical current that split the molecules of the water to produce the hydrogen and the high alkalinity, turning it from a positive charge to a negative charge. Yeah. So this is exactly what they found. And this is engineered, medically engineered, and they found that to put titanium plates in the back of the machine, the water will filtrate through with the electrical current. It actually will split the molecules and produce hydrogen. So when you're actually pouring it in the glass, you can see the hydrogen. It's pretty awesome. So this is the Anespa, and I have one in my shower. And before in time, I used to get very itchy from the chlorine. And so since having this in my shower, it's pretty amazing. And I don't itch anymore. There's no allergies. I mean, for people who have got eczema, psoriasis, I can't guarantee anything, but I've seen a lot of really good results with it because it's very soothing on the skin. The 6pH is what it produces and takes out all the chlorine. Now, the 6pH is what they use in Japan in all those retreats. You know how you sit in a spa and you have all that? It's really nice and very relaxing. That's because it's the 6pH. So you can actually also purchase the Anespa, and you can pop it in your shower and start having beautiful 6pH every day. And it's very anti-aging for your skin. So I know you ladies out there might be very interested in that. The Yukon is great as well. Turmeric is probably one of the most researched herbs. This is made in Okinawa. It's designed by doctors, again by Nagic. High quality, very high quality. It's mixed with certain oils for better absorption, which is great. And there's so much on turmeric. I won't spend too much on that. But it's pretty amazing for your immune system. And the whole point is building your immune system up so it can actually help you fight any diseases which are coming your way. And there's more and more diseases which are coming. There's more viruses which are coming. There's more bacteria. So the only thing you can do is to build your whole immune system with everything that you have that you know about. And now you know that you can get this water, and now you know there's turmeric, that you know there's Anespa, which is in the shower. Now you know, and once you know, it's really hard to disregard this information. So more people on it. So these are the 4 that I wanted to show you. So the top left one is the K8. Okay, this is what we have for the Australian market. So the top one left is the K8 that has 8 titanium plates. The bottom one is the JR2, which has 3 titanium plates. So the big difference is the K8 lasts for around 15 plus years. Why do we know that? Is because the company has been going for 45 years, and we have proven that some people still have these units after 25 years. So we have proof because we have been in the market for more than 45 years. Most businesses collapse within 1 to 2 years. It's a very high percentage. Now the company is very solid. We've been going 45 plus years. So that's how we know that these machines last for that long. Remember, it's a medical certified device. So the JR2 is the junior version. It's a little bit smaller, the unit. it will do pretty much the same as the K8. The K8 is more electrical. It actually talks to you, which is a little bit different. But again, it's like the Mercedes model of the whole thing. The Yukon looks like that. It's a little container. In fact, the ones that recently I'm reaching over to actually get the packet, that's the Yukon. So it's beautifully packaged, you know, really good for you. We already know about turmeric, top anti-inflammatory. And then of course the Anespa. The Anespa is quite small. It's not a big unit. It's probably around, probably you can't see it, but anyway, it's sort of as big as my hand to my elbow. That's the size, and it's very easy to actually install. Very, very easy. You do have to turn the water off first, and then you just take the shower head out and then you replace it with the one that they've given you. It's very, very simple to apply. So how I feel about it is either you invest now and start looking after your health, or you can actually pay later. And a lot of people say, you know, oh, it's very expensive. And then I think, well, you know, it's your health. And I know that if with my K8, if there was none left in the whole world and someone said to me, Jayne, I'm going to buy it for 100,000, I would have to say no, because I know what it can actually do. And I know because it's got hydrogen in it. One of these cups, again, are like, the antioxidant level is just huge, which is flushing my body. Number two, I know I'm going to absorb at least 50%. It's going to hit my brain in 10 seconds. And so therefore I have more clarity of thought. And of course, every inflammatory response in my body is not there anymore. So would I sell it for 100 grand? No, I wouldn't. I would maintain it and keep it going. There's no way I would actually get rid of it. So what I just want to do in conclusion is that I have a lot of links at the bottom of this YouTube or Instagram, wherever you're going to be seeing me. And I really urge you to reach out to me, send me a message, and I really don't mind chatting to you about it. Or if there could be a person that's invited you to watch this YouTube video, I urge you to get back to that particular person and say, hey, tell me a little bit about it. Because once you know, you can't go back. And there's no way that I would even return to tap water or bottled water knowing what I actually know. So that concludes my presentation here. I am so thankful and happy and grateful that you could spend the time to listen. And please reach out because I'd love to contact you. Bye for now.